Welcome back. Now, we usually associate world-renowned magicians and mentalists with places like Las Vegas, not Waterford. But one Irish man has toured the globe for many years, showcasing his mind-blowing skills.
Yes, I've been subject to them many a time. His latest tour features largely on the art of hypnosis, so we better not make eye contact, because joining us now is mentalist, hypnotist and magician Keith Barry. Good morning to you, Keith.
How are you?
You're no stranger to this studio.
No, I love it here.
Can I ask you, Keith, different personalities can be more susceptible to hypnosis.
Yeah.
Let's start with hypnosis, because I know it's just one of the many things that you do. And the last time you were in on a Sunday. There was Ivan, myself and Killian, who does our TV reviews, you know, Killian. And Killian was much more susceptible to what you were doing. And you made the point that Ivan and I were too resistant to it.
Yeah.
So what's the story in terms of different people's personalities and who is more likely to be hypnotised?
Well, pretty much anybody can be hypnotised, and it's the opposite of what a lot of people think. So a lot of people think only silly or stupid people can be hypnotised. Nothing could be further from the truth, and I promise you that, because you just need three things: creativity, imagination and intelligence in order to be hypnotised.
See, I knew straight away you'd be stuck with Ivan H.
I didn't have any of those.
I was being polite that day. That was the problem with Ivan. You couldn't focus, but Ivan, there's a whole other story there. But all joking aside, you know, once you have those three things, here's why. You need to be intelligent, because you need to be able to listen to my voice and follow my commands and instructions. If you can't do that, then you definitely can't be hypnotised. But then, of course, if you resist it, or if you've got something else in your mind, or if you're thinking of something else, then you're not going to go under. And a lot of people do want to resist because, you know, they're nervous and they don't really understand it. So I always say in my live shows, I always say, look, if you're going to resist hypnosis, if you don't really want to be hypnotised, don't come up on stage. Kick back, relax and enjoy the show. I only want people on stage who really want to go.
People then who are, and it's probably the wrong word, but who are gullible, who want to believe in it. Yeah, gullible. But let themselves be.
Gullible's an interesting word, but it's more susceptible. So there's susceptibility tests that we give people, and then we find people who are subconsciously susceptible to hypnosis.
How do you suss that out? How do you
So
check
I give
that
a bunch of different tests, just these tests of the imagination, where I get people to imagine magnets on their fingers, and when their fingers move towards each other, if they're following that simple suggestion, then I know that perhaps they might be suggestible. As a matter of fact, we can do it on people at home. If everybody at home just clasp your fingers like this. Go ahead and do it now at home. Just clasp your fingers like this. Extend your first two fingers like this, so there's about an inch gap between them. Stare at that gap and imagine now that there's magnets on your fingertips, and take a deep breath in and out, and you'll notice immediately that your fingertips start to move closer and closer. There you go. You're susceptible for sure. Closer and closer and closer together until eventually they touch. Yes. Simon's fingers went wow.
What's the story there?
You're full of creativity, imagination, intelligence.
Here I am, nothing else.
I could drop you pretty quickly, Simon, pretty quickly.
You could have me unconscious in seconds, couldn't you?
Yeah, but let's go for a snooze together afterwards.
No. You're afraid of me.
Oh, hypnotise him, Keith. Do.
No,
don't.
What's the end of the item? You're actually worried.
I'd be afraid of my life, yeah. I'd be barking like a dog for the next 6 weeks. Every time someone mentioned a word. I'd be afraid of my life.
But actually, you know, on that note, you know, a lot of people, they kind of wonder, you know, with the live show, I know we'll mention the live show later, but it's called hypnomagic, and it's a mixture of hypnosis, mind magic, and of course deception. But in this show, I'm kind of proud of the hypnosis aspect, because I've developed a hypnosis show that I know has never been seen anywhere else in the world. Because very often, you know, hypnotists can get people to bark like a dog or play an instrument or something. So, like in the Hypnomagic show, I turn somebody into a Conor McGregor every night on stage. So I have a full UFC fight conference. I have 20 people on stage, they're hypnotised, and I create a UFC fight conference. So I make one person into Conor McGregor and another person into the Japanese martial artist Yamashiro Kobe. And he can only speak Japanese, of course. And then I get somebody else to be a translator for him, so they can translate everything that he's talking. And then everybody else is crazed UFC fans. So it gets crazy on stage. Like we were in Dundalk last night, and the guy was taking his top off on stage, being Conor McGregor, and it was just crazy stuff, you know.
But it's nice for viewers to know, I think, that if you don't want to be on the stage, because there's so many people who would have a fear of, oh, I couldn't go to that show because you might end up on stage. It's much more about the humour and the laughs.
Yeah, the biggest compliment I get is lots of people meeting them on the street going, listen, I really like your stuff on TV, but I'm never going to see you live. I was like, well, that's not very good. And they all say the same thing, I don't want to end up on stage. So I kind of addressed that this time around, because on previous shows I've thrown frisbees into the audience, and then I kind of force people who catch the frisbee to get up. But with this show, I've dropped that, so I only invite people to come up on stage who really want to come up on stage, and everybody else can just kick back, relax and enjoy the show.
How much does the show change, Keith, in terms of the show evolve? And I'm thinking in terms of, you know, like a stand-up comic that he goes out on tour every 2 years. It has to be a new show. Do you road test them? Do you write new material constantly? Are there things you want to...
It's a good question. So I change my show every year, so it's not every 2 years.
Right.
So this is kind of my 15th theatre tour, and so I'm on my 15th show, and I make sure that it's different. Every show is different from all previous. So it varied year on year. I've got smart about it. So, you know, up until last year, I would sit down and start writing the show about 6 weeks before the first date, which is way too little, because normally you should give 3 months. But with my scheduling, I just could never carve out 3 months. So anyway, I would stay up, now I'm not joking, 18 hours a day for the 6 weeks until the show was done, and we'd literally rehearse for like 2 days. But I would never road test the material. All the comics think I'm nuts, because they would go into a small comedy club, maybe test the gags or whatever. No, I promise you, it just goes from my bedroom, or my office rather, straight onto stage. Which I find quite exciting. Now, I like that. But I've gotten a bit smarter about it. So I'm already now, even though I'm on tour now, I'm already writing next year's show so that I'm not having to cram it. Yeah, and it's changing every year. And I like with this show, I make the whole audience kind of temporary hallucinate for a moment. So, and they know it's only happening in their brains. And I actually posted up last night's reaction to that, so people can check it out, so they know I'm not just spoofing here on Breakfast AM. Look up on Keith Barry Official on my Facebook page. They can see the reaction of the audience when they're going temporarily insane for 10 seconds. And it works whether they're skeptics, believers, or non-believers, which is the fun part.
So you're going to do something for us this morning?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
So the question is, do we do Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo? Who are we going to do it on?
Well, you know, I'm a wet
we were going to do it on Anna, but I think Simon could be fresh meat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Simon, I want you to pay attention to this for a second, okay? So I've got a psychological...
I'm not loving this. He's pulling a redner for the first time ever.
I'm afraid now, That's my blankie.
So this is a psychological...
Don't judge me!
Ink blot test, right? And these were invented or designed, if you like, by a guy called Herman Rorschach many years ago.
That's right.
To test people for psychological disorders. That was the original use for them. Now, don't worry, we're not going to test you for a psychological disorder here this morning. But I'm going to show some of these. And here's the idea. There's about 50 or 60 of them in here. But each one of these, what you do is you get a person to stare at it, and different people see different things in the images. And then they would associate that to some memory from their life. So I'll give some examples. Let's go through here. Let's see that one there. So if I see that one, immediately that brings me back to 1997, and a time that I was with my wife and we were watching fireworks. Okay, so that's the memory that I would associate for that. Like, what would you see in that, Simon? What would you see in that? Go.
Roadkill.
Roadkill is what I would see that. Okay, roadkill. And then I would ask you to link that to a memory from your life, somewhere in your life, okay? And you would come up with something. Okay. What would it be? What would the memory be?
Probably be on holidays when I was a kid.
So different people see. And what would you have seen in that one?
I think I would have seen art splashes from art class.
So, and there I would see very clearly popcorn. I would imagine myself at the cinema. What would you see in that one?
I don't know, like a skeleton or something.
A skeleton or something, so you might think maybe of a funeral or something. What would you see?
I see jewellery there.
Jewellery. So lots of people see different things. We all see different things. And I want people to realise at home, I'll get a shot of this, that they're all different. And I don't know, there's like 50 or 60 of them here. And each one of these will bring up a different memory in your life, okay? So we're going to try that with you. Here's what we'll do, okay? In a moment...
I'm frightened.
In a moment, I'm going to give you this. You'll hold it in your left palm like this, and you're just going to break somewhere and peek and memorise one of them, okay? And when you look at it, take a couple of moments, stare at it, think of an image and associate that image to somewhere in your life, a memory of some kind in your life, okay? So put out your left hand palm up, okay? Don't let the camera see, so the camera look away. I don't want anybody to see. I'll stare into your eyes while you do this, so you don't think I'm looking.
Just pick anyone.
But keep it private to yourself. Just pull up. Okay,
so we don't want to see Simon's page.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Okay, are you thinking, now, can you think of an image associated with that?
Can I think of an image? Yes, I can, yeah.
Have you a memory?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, put your hand on top. Throw the pad on the table. We don't need it. Okay, good. So, just look at me, and I want you to just take a deep breath in and out, and imagine a screen between us, and make it big and bright and vivid, and try and project whatever this memory is onto the screen. Really do this, because there's lots of images, but thousands of memories. Okay, focus on whether you're outdoors or indoors. You're outdoors in this. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, focus now on whether you're alone or if there's other people around. There's definitely other people around, is that correct? And I don't mean just a few other people. There's a few people with you, but there's many people around.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Okay, focus now. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise coming through, and different types of noises.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Okay, and focus now on... I can get a smell, a very strong smell coming through.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, and it's not particularly a good smell either.
It's not. Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Not a pleasant smell. I'm also sensing water, but almost like a canal or something, like a dug out to stop something from going somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm also sensing, just look at me, I'm sensing, are you with family in this?
Yeah.
Yes, you're with family. You're quite young in this as well.
Very young,
Yes, this isn't a recent memory. This is a memory from your childhood. You're thinking of, good, we're connecting now. Okay, and focus now. I'm also sensing straw or sand. Is that making sense?
Not really.
No, straw or sand. No, animals. Is there animals around?
Yeah.
Yes, there is animals around. But you're thinking. You're thinking of one specific animal, though, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Focus now on. So it's not. I'm being very specific with this. You're not thinking, and I'm not fishing. You're not thinking of a monkey, a lion, or a tiger. So you're not.
I am. Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but there's another one that you're thinking of. Are you in a zoo right now in your mind?
A safari park.
A safari park. Really close. Yeah. Okay, but were you also thinking of an elephant?
Well, that was what the picture was.
That was what the picture was?
Yeah.
You saw an elephant in one of those?
Yeah.
So you saw an elephant in one of these?
And it reminded me of the particular trip.
A family...
So we call that a success?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what the strange smell is, because the memory is there were monkeys on the car.
Yeah.
And my Uncle Austin was in the front seat of the car smoking a cigar.
So that's what the smell was, yes.
And the monkey tried to get into the car and he tried to burn it with the cigar. Get it out of the car. That's what the smell was, the cigar.
And you got all of that from that picture?
And
I got all that from his mind.
Yeah.
So that's what you saw in one of these.
I saw an elephant. Yeah.
So I would have seen, I don't know which one you thought of, but...
I thought it very clearly looked like an elephant now.
I think it's always important to tell viewers when you're in.
Something like that?
Could have been that, yeah.
We never have conversations before Keith comes into the studio.
What would you have thought about it if you'd seen that? Doesn't really look like an elephant to me.
It looks like
I feel
like a heart
skull.
I feel slightly unwell.
So different people see different things, but I think I got pretty zoned in, pretty exact.
Brother.
Someone get Simon a cup of tea, for God's sake.
Right,
Keith,
now
you look like
remember...
you're about to puke, by the way.
Keith will continue his tour around Ireland from tonight up until November. You can find tickets at your usual ticket.
I'm in Claremorris tonight. Claremorris.
Clane.
Clane next week, and also New 10 Men Kennedy next week, and a few other dates. KeithBarry.com.
You never stop, do you?
The Olympia in November.
He's at the fright in the life, hasn't he?
No, he's not the better of that, are you, Simon? No.